as you'll see later on when we'll show you some of the first electronic portfolios. But there is also a cost. And the cost to us is the monitoring system which has to be employed. Okay, it is pretty deep and it is quite complex, even though we're trying to streamline it at the moment. So this is our plan for the CAME. What we have done is we have broken down our subjects into little learning blocks and learning activities. So this is just representative of Derek and myself. During our little block looking at the basics of the engine, we've looked at the two-stroke, component identification, component function, and four-stroke. At the end of all that then, we're going to give a little formalised test, just so we can formally measure learning, and we'll keep and record the results. This information gets fed up then into their e-portfolio. So as they're completing the work electronically for us, they're allowing us to view it, or sharing it with us. We then take that work, we'll mark it, because we have a proper embedded full assessment system built into this, both for practical and theory. And then we'll sit down with the classes and they will upload that into their e-portfolios. Added to that as well, we also have a practical element. But it's not practical anymore, it's vocationally related. Okay? So in other words, what we're saying is that the practical is really an extension of the theory. Rather than trying to competency assess them now, we are saying that our practical is vocationally related. Okay? That then is assessed on a formal basis, and again, that information is taken and uploaded into their e-portfolios. Now there's a third element to this as well. Now, I'm been quite shocked at the outside interest a lot of students have, part-time jobs and also, and they can't turn up to Unitec for one reason or another. So what we've got a plan B built in. Now because of the use of technologies, cameras, internet, ILT, you name it, we're going to be using it. What we can do for learners which are really struggling to stay on site, we can actually set up a formal assessment process where we have a camera on a stand, a load of bits and pieces in front of them, and we can interview them. So this, all that there, those learning objects, we can still interview them, and then we can take that and upload that into their e-portfolio. So we know that everybody is covering the elements which we want them to see. At the top here then we've got components which actually feed into it as well. Now I believe this is taken from the document. Okay? So what we're looking at, we're closely monitoring attendance, which is Sioni's baby. We look after that on Moodle. The deadlines, we pay particular attention to deadlines. This isn't just come in and play with the internet and mess around on YouTube for the day. There are real structured deadlines in there, and time management. These components then will actually fill in to their e-portfolio. The final assessment works out at 60% e-portfolio, so in other words, that lot plus that lot, and 40% practical. So that's our plan. As a matter of fact, that's actually wrong. That should no longer be called practical. It should be called integrated activities. Okay? Now then, before we got to grips with the students and actually tried to get them to be using these technologies, we ourselves had to learn to use it. Okay, I mean the learning curve here, it's not a curve, it's vertical. Right? It's something you don't know, then you're going to have to go and find it. And the hours you spend on YouTube, on the Google YouTube website or the Blogger YouTube website, trying to find out how to put a file or form or document together, is astronomical. So all the groundwork has been done. Okay? And just to prove a point, these are our blogs. Just to show that we can do what they've been doing. And added to that, is, believe it or not, it's been essential. Because otherwise we'd be sitting here like muppets. because the students would be asking us how do we do this, this and this, and we wouldn't have a clue. The process, if I could just... Have you got any questions, Mike? Please stop me. The process, as it stands to yesterday, it's changed since yesterday. We would set the learner's work. The learners then would upload it from Moodle. Okay? Now there is something, there's a part there which we found particularly stressful. Everything we are doing gets uploaded onto the internet to Google Docs. And I know the question's going to come back, well, how do you know it's secure up on there? Well, it's Google. They've got their servers in Iceland and everything is backed up and backed up and backed up and is kept there forever. You can go onto any computer on the planet and access your work. They would upload their learning package from Moodle. Problem is that Google Docs doesn't like playing with 2007 documents. So we have to go back and save everything as 97. It's an annoyance. Once they completed it then, they would send that back to us via an email. What would then happen is we would take that piece of information and we would upload it ourselves then to our Google Docs. If I could just show you this. This goes on for about 220 odd pieces of information. So everything which is coming up is put into Docs and we're sharing it with the students. The student groups are split down into colours just for managerial purposes, just so we can actually monitor a lot easier what's going on. If we were to take a look at group pink, for instance, that's our students. And we're using a simple colour coding mechanism. Green means they're on target, blue, they're behind, red, cause for concern. Okay? And that's what Kevin Moorhead has done, and there's the rest of this. The reason why it's green is the rest of this is up on his e-portfolio. As I said, it's changed since yesterday. Now, this work is in here now. I've added off the learner an email, I've copied it, and put it into their file. Now what I'm going to do is mark it. So what you're doing now is you're embarking on continuous assessment. It's no longer end-loaded. You are constantly assessing. As the work comes in, you assess it. You've measured in the learning that way. And if I was to take Kevin's form, what we've got here is essentially what is nothing more than a spreadsheet with scores and grades on. To make life easier for yourself, we sat down and we developed a standardized form. So, you've got one monitor with the student's worker, you're scrolling through it, you're looking at it, you're marking it. The other monitor then will contain this form. Name, assessment, title, engines, and then what we're going to do then is we'll have the research skills. And it's just simple grading from 1 to 5. It doesn't need to be any more complex than that. Just 1 to 5. We scroll all the way down. Because we're actually working in groups as well, we're doing a lot of team contribution type stuff, then we'll be looking